Yo, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another Last Cloudia video. Today we're going to be going over a couple of Roland builds. Now this one is fully maxed out with the full board. I do have him at 112 SC. Now I did throw on a couple of prisms on him so that we can get him there. If you wanted to go the full 130 to unlock the two other slots, definitely do it. I definitely think he's worth it. Going over his traits though, there are a few minor things we need to touch base on before starting the build. The first thing is trait 1, when equipped with only one weapon and using a skill, chance to give unit a demon plate buff for 5 seconds. Through the waves, this is going to be an RNG. So on boss wave though, you do get it on the first skill guaranteed. After the 5 seconds is ended on the boss wave, you will be back to RNG. There are ways to kind of get around that, and we'll discuss that throughout the video, but just to keep that in mind. Remember, on waves, it is RNG, so just using skills, it will proc. On boss wave, you'll get it guaranteed on the first skill. When it does happen, you do get a SCT recovery speed of 400%, and then a critical rate of a massive 100%, which is the first we've seen on any unit. While attacking, nullify enemy evasion, skill damage plus 50%, and then damage cap plus 50k. He also does on trait 2 get a massive 40% and an additional 75k. He does have survivability built in, along with some removing debuffs that have been put on the unit through possible boss waves, whatnot. When using a skill, can't be interrupted by most attacks, so he will come with super armor. Also physical, magical, and counter damage taken minus 50. It does not work with special, so if he is hit hard enough by a special, he potentially could die. But he has a lot of innate damage reduction, so he should be fine, honestly. I've taken him through several fights, and he actually has not died yet. The couple things I have seen on multiplayer, I have seen players putting on HP up armor, stuff like that. You don't need anything HP related. You actually really don't need anything defense related or damage reduction related at this time. A majority of the bosses shouldn't really kill Roland, especially when running support with additional damage reduction from that support, whether it be SM Sarah, Reyna, etc., Labyrinth. With that said, I really would just keep him bare until you actually need it, when you are actually dying. There are some very important things in this kit that we need to talk about though. So auto EX Brave, there is no reason to have Grand Brave or Brave on this unit. They will not stack with EX Brave. This is a massive 50% to STR, and again, it will not stack with other Braves. He does come with a Buster set. For Divinity, he does have God, Dragon, Spirit, Undead type, so there's no reason to add anything additionally Slayer related when it comes to God, Dragon, Spirit, Undead. Another thing is the elemental shield was fixed. It used to be a weak point, now it's elemental shield, so they did fix that, which is very nice. The next thing here is Magus Sharp Eyes. Now this does stack with Sharp Eyes, so it would be 3% for this one and then 3% for Sharp Eyes, with the massive 100% skill damage, which is very, very good. We do have damage cap with this one, which is very, very nice. I absolutely love Magus Sharp Eyes. Retribution is very, very important. Now we have, when equipped with only one weapon, which he is a single wield dark unit, boost damage cap base boost damage cap will base on dark res weakness to dark, enemies weak to dark. So you are getting a max of 50,000 cap at minus 50 res. So it looks like 1,000 for each -1. Okay, so basically what you want to do is you are going to want to nerf the res of the boss that you are fighting as low as you possibly can. You can use Theo's circles, you can use his paid armor, and I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and then a melee. AchBeing melee does have a Anima that lowers dark res by 20%, by -20, so very good as well. I mean, we'll look at that Anima as well, just in case you are running it. So this build first is going to be, and I'll show you what I named it. It's going to be an MP positive, and that's just kind of a random name I thought of. This one is the build we're going to be using. We'll go ahead and start off with equipment. So for the paid, I know there are paid weapons in the shop. Now I'm going to go ahead and ignore the paid weapon for this video. I did not get it. So this is actually a really good substitute weapon. I believe we are going to see this again during an event. Anti-Soul Blade Zalonia. It's a massive HP gain, massive SCR. Let's see. And then when equipped with only one weapon, physical damage is 25%, which is really, really good. Damage cap 2,500. Low chance for skill, little chance for skill attacks to absorb 3% of damage as HP. It's really not bad when you're dead to 6. I don't really care for this, but you know, a massive 25%. It's only 5% lower than his paid one. The damage cap is significantly lower than his paid, but it's fine. I would actually pick his armor 10 times over the sword. Skill and special damage is 5k. Damage taken is -15. Now that's going to be all damage, special included. Battle start, give all enemies a dark res -20 debuff. Now this is a 40-second debuff, but it is still one of the first ones to actually do this. I 100% recommend picking the armor over the sword in any scenario. So definitely do that. Here we have accessory. Now this is a little bit of a newer accessory that we just got. It is a on the previous mana collab we just had on a specific arc. I don't remember what the name is, but it does have a nice little damage cap of 2k. But my big thing here is the Archangel's bracelet. Again, it's a collab related piece. Skill damage plus 10% and extra attack damage plus 20. Now the extra damage plus 20 here is pursuit. Now I recommend highly that you run Icy Guardian on this unit. I definitely wouldn't run full damage cap unless you're just trying to be gimmicky and want to see big numbers. I totally get it. It's a fun game. I have been in that same scenario where I like to just see numbers instead of damage. I get it, but in this case I want performance from Roland, so I'm definitely doing full pursuit as much as I can. If you don't have the ability to go full pursuit, you know, with this extra damage, you could easily just run anything with damage percentage, like the Equilibrium Spear. You could run really anything that's going to give them physical percentage, anything dark percentages. 3 Jolt Amulet when hitting attribute weakness, which you most definitely are because you're going to be nuking the resistance to keep up cap. Anti-damage is plus 15%, so if it's a divinity or if you want to run a separate slayer, you definitely can as well. That's an additional 15. Really just pick whichever you have, but make sure it is physical damage related or dark damage related. Okay, so moving on to the actual skill set. Like I said, this is an MP positive kind of situation. Now the reason why I say that is because I am stacking Sharp Eyes with the Sharp Eyes that he has built in already, so I'm getting 6% of my MP absorbed every time I attack. Goddess Kiss is going to maintain that MP so that I can keep my percentages up, because if it is a longer fight he will run out. If it's a shorter fight, of course you probably won't even need it. Therefore you can change your build to whatever you want, remove the Goddess Kiss and kind of, you know, keep going. But this is just to show you guys what is possible and how you can maintain the MP up to keep his damage up as well. Roland is an absolute powerhouse, so I get it if you don't want to use it. So the first thing you do have is an attack up. All we're doing here is just damage cap. Pose of Honors, when defeating enemy, recover MP. Now again, more damage cap on skill 2 and skill 3. Shadow Rust is more damage cap on 50 hitter combo. You're going to be nuking the field with massive combos, so it's just an extra 1500 cap. Extra attack boost. Now this is going to benefit my pursuits. Now what a pursuit is, it is your crit and it's going to be half of that crit. But since we are using Icy Guardian, it is going to be an ice pursuit, which is going to be an ice hit. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that they are weak to ice as well, so that pursuit max you can get the maximum pursuit damage. So this is actually on Balmite UR. So if you do have that and you're doing a pursuit build, definitely run this. Skill 2 boost is just damage percentage up to skill 2 along with some cap. I don't really care for the SCT recovery, the negative part of it, because he has 400%. It doesn't affect him in any way. Same thing with S3. He gets another 2k cap with 20% damage. More damage cap. Since he's single build, he's getting the 3k. This is going to give him more stocks, more damage output per second. Dark skill damage is plus 15% on this right head. Now this is on the arc that I did get this accessory from, so if you don't have that arc, just find something else that's going to give you some type of percentages. Now what you're going to be looking for when building him is anything physical related damage, and then dark physical damage, and anything that you have for that will work. Anything dark physical damage caps, anything like that. So yeah, that's what you're gonna be looking for, stuff like this. Anti-type boost is totally if you want to. I don't feel like he needs slayers, but this is to show you that this is available. This is going to increase the damage effect of your slayers. So if you're fighting a god or a dragon, this is going to help boost that. If you're fighting like a creature, it will not work. If you do not want to run the anti-type boost and just run the slayer, because if you are running SM Sarah, there is a slayer effect damage cap of like 10k. So definitely, if you're running Sarah, I definitely would run the specific slayer that you are for the enemy you're attacking, just to get that extra cap, because you definitely want it. But in this case, this is just there if you need it, as far as damage percentage up. Two-handed boost is going to be a small damage percentage of 10%, 3k cap. This is on my free slot, which is 30% to physical. You're always going to be hitting, you should always be hitting physical weak point on your bosses, because that is where his cap lies, and especially 50k of it. Sharp Eyes is just more MP for that 50%. Like I said, it does stack with the other Sharp Eyes that he has innate. Dark High Drive is a 30% up to Dark Physical. Goddess Kiss. Now this is what I was talking about. When a regular attack hits, you have a chance to absorb 2% of that damage dealt as MP. Now this is going to allow me to recover MP on hit with a regular attack, and I'll demonstrate that in a bit in the next part of the video. Sword Mega Boost is 30% to physical, another 2k cap. And then Favorite Sword, unfortunately, was not built in, so this is a massive waste of SC, but it's needed. So 30% and 10k cap. If you are going for even this, if you're going for 130 build, I definitely probably will put it in slot 3. If not, 15 SC is just a lot, and it's just so worth, honestly. But that's just what I recommend, honestly. Let's see here. So as far as this goes, this is pretty simple. Like I said, he doesn't need any HP. I'm not using anything damage reduction related. It's mostly all damage cap and damage percentage. That's really how I built him. Purple Orb. So this is actually a really neat thing, because it does give, it's on the DMC collab. A lot of stuff's collab related, unfortunately. It gives 1 stock to all skills, and it does stack with his amazing E6 trait, which is going to be this bad boy right here. This is the first time we've actually gotten something like this, if I'm not mistaken. Won't faint from enemy attacks, and max skill stock for all skills is an additional +1. So you're getting +1 here. We're getting stock 2, and we're getting an additional all stock, +1 to all stock again for Purple Orb. So this is massive. The things you can swap out, like I said, if you're not going to do Goddess Kiss, you can remove this, and you can also remove the anti-type boost if you're not going to run a Slayer. But I will demonstrate something that the Slayer will be probably needed. So we're going to go ahead and close this out. Okay, and I don't know why I actually closed that out. So the next thing we could talk about here is a crit build. Now I do have damage cap. It's very similar to NP positive, so I went ahead and just skipped this. So we're gonna go ahead and apply this crit niche build that I have. Now all I'm doing here is I'm adding crit. Now this is for the people that are just really impatient with that buff. So with that said, you can actually remove a lot of stuff to add crit, and you can build them crit. It's very little that we do have, but I can kind of show you what I came up with. So we do have crit 1, crit 2, and then crit 3, and then I added auto crit. And then the last one here is Ardor. So this is at max HP, which he actually will be pretty much always at max HP. So he'll get a crit rate of +10 there. And then he'll have the crit package 1, 2, and 3, and then he'll have auto crit right here. On his equipment, I did change the weapon. This is specifically on a collab as well. This has got a crit rate +3, light dark damage +10, and then a crit rate accessory. Now this build is only for people who are impatient and don't want to wait for the buff. This will keep your damage caps a little bit higher throughout the fight instead of waiting for the RNG to kick in. I don't like it too much, but I wanted to show you that it is possible. If this is what you guys want to do, I get it. I get the impatient part. It happens all the time. Yeah, so that's why I built it like this. So really all you're doing is you're moving a bunch of damage multipliers just to add the crit. And as you can see, it's very similar to the last one. Damage cap, and the crit was replaced with a couple other things, but mostly damage cap, and then your percentage ups right here, like Sharp Eyes, high drive, whatnot. But again, I still recommend I still recommend the first kit that I talked about, but again, both are valid. I just wanted to kind of stray away from using anything HP or defense related is what I'm talking about. So we're gonna go ahead and apply back my MP positive one. Hit this, yes, okay, perfect. And then we're gonna go ahead and do a demonstration real quick on one of the worlds. Now I am gonna use a boss that is -40 already, and it's consumed by godly power. This is actually gonna be, we're gonna nerf him. So right now we are gonna be running Roland with SM Sarah and then S Neil. She is going to be my HE battery. She's also gonna be providing 10k cap with this arc. Like I said, I definitely recommend using this one at all times because there's gonna be more damage out of this. Now I do get if you were to remove that and put this on here. Of course, if you do that, then you're just gonna get massive numbers, which I get, but you're gonna lose out on a lot of damage not using this. Double check the actual there, make sure that, okay. So with that said, because of SM Sarah, I'm so used to Theria, really. She does give us this massive 10k buff to anti-type, yeah, so anti-type damage cap plus 10k, and give physical magic attack special anti-god type. So this is huge. Normally, like I said, I probably wouldn't run a Slayer outside of this creature. He most likely will cap. So with that said, changes to the build are always necessary when needed. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove Dark High Drive, and we're actually going to add a Slayer because I definitely want to benefit from that Slayer. It's a massive 10k, you know, and I really, since we're gonna be nuking the res, we're still gonna cap. So we're gonna hit the Slayer. So we do have 2 SC left. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit this set only. I'm gonna remove backup 1. We're gonna remove this set only, and then we're gonna go to 3 costs and add some damage cap. So the skill 1 is gonna give me 4k cap to skill breakthrough 2. So hit that. All right. So just a small change was made for per boss. Of course, this is a boss. Now we're gonna be pursuit build with a Slayer. I'm getting Slayer percentage from anti-type boost. I'm also getting 10k cap support here, and then she's also gonna give me support for her right here. All enemies, all attributes, skill and special. Skill damage taken plus 20. Damage cap is plus 3k. Yes, and then she also will be my battery for Flame Circle. Oh, we can take out our Flame Circle. She doesn't need that. Weaver's Apple Pie. All right. So Weaver's Apple Pie is going to restore all skill stock for me at battle start, so I don't have to worry about anything. And let's go ahead and test it out. Again, guys, I'm not running any HP ups or defense ups. And I'm not running any crit as well. He has 10% crit from his two-handed sword. That is it. So outside of the buff, this is all that's all I'm gonna have. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with Soul Blade. You'll see the number right here. There's a 999. We'll go ahead and add Theo. So mine is level 10, so I am gonna get -50 here. We're also gonna throw out a Holy Circle for that dark. Now we are gonna be at we're at 90 once that dark circle hits, or that, sorry, the Holy Circle. We are gonna be now at 110. So now we're getting full 50k cap from Roland because of that. And then we're gonna do this. So if you want, you can actually hold off on the apple pie if you're impatient. And once you start off with the S1, this should automatically crit. Now the thing is, he does get a massive increase in SCT gain, but it's not enough to kind of skill spam. As you can see, it's still a little bit slow, but it is there. So what I'm still gonna do, just for the sake of the video, I'm gonna go ahead and add a Weaver's Apple Pie. There's a glitch with this, there we go. Oh, let's wait till it ends and we'll go do this. Okay. All right, so now the actual buff is ended. So we're gonna have to really pray on RNG here to activate. So we're gonna do 1S3. Hasn't kicked in yet. Hasn't kicked in yet. I recommend using S1s. I recommend using S1s until it kicks in, and then using your bigger skills for later. So now we have it active. We have 5 seconds to go. So let's go ahead and S3. Of course, we're hitting. Yeah, we got hit by magic. So S1. There it is again. Oh, no. Go ahead, hit again. There it is, right there. All right, now that we have it, we are losing MP based on Sharp Eyes. So we need to make sure that we blast. Yep, there's the big caps. Okay, see, demonstration right here. So now we were losing MP so fast here because of all the skills happening. So because of Goddess Kiss, this is why I like my MPs the same. I should be able to do one to two strikes here, and I'll have full MP back again. This is gonna make me hit even harder without any issues. There we go again. There we go, clear. Okay, let's see. Do you want to play? Yeah, sure, we'll play it again. With this time around, we're gonna go ahead and swap to the other build. Now, this is the impatient crit build, so we're gonna go ahead and preset, and we're gonna go ahead and apply this one now. This is gonna give us our full crit. Yeah, we're gonna go and filter by set only, and then we're gonna hit skill cost, yes, and then passives. Now we have our crit stuff right here. Again, guys, we're gonna run the Slayer because we definitely don't want to miss out on that skill cap. Yeah, so let's go do this, and we'll find our Slayers real quick. It should be right here. Future Slayer, okay, and then we'll do skill costs and add that breakthrough again. There you go. Cool. Oh, and then we need to take off the attack 1. Another thing, guys, is you don't need to run any attack ups on him either. So definitely don't need to stack up the STR. So you don't need to run attack up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You really just go for percentages, physical percentages at that point, and dark damage. Okay, so now we have our crit. We're not changing the art because this is very important that we have it, especially now that we have this. We are getting crit power of 45%, which is huge. And remember, guys, this arc does give every critical an ice extra attack, so we want to make sure that the ice is as low as possible as well. So we're gonna go ahead and hit. Well, you know what? Since we are, you know, it's actually gonna. I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Now, if you wanted to, you could also just lower the ice res. Because with this boss, he's already minus 40. Like in cases like this, if the boss is already minus 40, you can go ahead and lower the ice res. So the ice hits, let's see, skill costs. This default. I'm losing my mind. There it is. We can do this. Thunder, no, flame circle. There it is. Okay. Now you can't stack circles, so it's only one circle per debuff. So let's go ahead and do this, and then hit this. Yeah, 118 dark res is overkill. So definitely make sure that he's minus 50. Let's do flame circle. We'll do soul blade again. Now you're gonna see the crit proc a lot more now because I put an extra crit in him. And this time we'll do Theo. So with the armor and that, we're at, yeah, minus 90, insane. And then ice is at 70, perfect. Okay, then we'll go ahead and blast this. That first kill going. By the time that launches, we can go. She's already back at full MP, so we can get ready for another Goddess Kiss. I mean, not Goddess Kiss, another proc. This build I am not running Goddess Kiss, so therefore when my MP runs out, I'm losing a lot of damage. But since this boss is a little bit easier, we can go ahead and nuke his HP. Yeah, there we go. And like I said, we were running that Shadow Rush 404 hit combo. He's getting an extra 15k, 1500 cap. So. Yeah, that was a new record. Okay, I'll take it. All right. And that's because the crit was always active as well. Not always active, I take that back. It was active more than the previous build. So like I said, I definitely get why people are doing that. But again, I have seen some HP ups on Roland, you don't need that. I've seen some defense ups on Roland, you don't need that, and you don't need the attack ups either. Of course, if you are a newer player and you're lacking a lot of things, then I can see why, but really whenever you start getting more percentage up, definitely go that route instead. The last thing here we'll talk about is pays, and I did kind of touch base on his pays a little bit already. And like I stated before, I definitely would not recommend the sword over the armor. Armor absolutely 150,000% first, and then if you have the additional creds, definitely go for the weapon. With that said, I can't really discuss too many arcs because I think Icy Garden is definitely the best contender. If anything, if you don't have Icy Guardian or the UR that I just showed you guys, then definitely recommend anything with physical percentage up or dark percentage up. Of course, that's going to be based on what you have. So today, if you guys have any questions, please, again, put in the comments below. But I do hope you enjoyed this video and it was helpful. I don't think I missed anything, but if I did, you can definitely drop it in. I can go and correct it a little later. But we went over the buff, the length of it, the RNG of it, the damage reduction. We went over making sure that the enemy's always res. So I feel like I got it. So it is a lot to go over sometimes. Sometimes it does slip my mind. It really does, guys. So I do apologize. But again, my favorite build specifically is going to be the MP positive. I do like to make sure that I have all the MP in the world so that I'm always capping with no issues at all. Again, we'll just go over do this one more time. It passes, and we'll skip all the zeros. Oh, make sure that you guys are doing the full board too. The full E6 is very, very important for you guys. Yeah, just make sure you're doing that. Don't leave out anything for this kid, especially for Roland, because it is all very, very important. Well, if you guys like today's content, please like and subscribe. And of course, we got more units coming in the next couple of weeks. I am very excited. I hope you all have a great night. Be safe, and I wish you best luck of all your pulls in the near future, especially during this Annie. And I hope you're having an awesome Annie. Have a good night, guys. Bye.